Welcome to the Folktale Project. This is Dan Scholes. This week I'm bringing you 3 new stories from Carl Sandburg's Rutabaga Stories. And this tale is, well, it's another silly one, and it's one that, I don't have any siblings, but I can imagine how this would go. This is How the Hat Ash's Shovel Helped SnooFoo. If you want to remember the names of all 6 of the Sniggers children, remember that the 3 biggest were named Blink, Swink, and Jink, but the 3 littlest ones were named Blunk, Swunk, and Junk. One day last January, the 3 biggest had a fuss with the 3 littlest. The fuss was about a new hat for SnooFoo, the snowman, about what kind of hat he would wear and how he should wear it. Blink, Swink, and Jink said, "He wants a crooked hat put on straight." Blunk, Swunk, and Junk said, "He wants a straight hat put on crooked." They fussed and fussed. Blink fussed with Blunk, Swink fussed with Swunk, and Jinx fussed with Junk. The first ones to make up after the fuss were Jink and Junk. They decided the best way to settle the fuss. "Let's put a crooked hat on crooked," said Jink. "No, let's put a straight hat on straight," said Junk. Then they stood looking and looking into each other's shiny, laughing eyes, and then both of them exploded to each other at the same time. "Let's put on 2 hats, a crooked hat crooked and a straight hat straight." Well, they looked around for hats, but there were not any hats anywhere, that is, no hats big enough for a snowman with a big head like SnooFoo. So they went in the house and asked their mother for the Hat Ash's shovel. Of course, in most any other house, the mother would be worried if all 6 children came tramping and clomping in, banging the door, and all 6 ejaculating to their mother at once, "Where is the Hat Ash's shovel?" But Mrs. Sniggers wasn't worried at all. She rubbed her chin with her finger and said softly, "Oh, la-di-da, where is that Hat Ash's shovel? Last week I had it when I was making a hat for Mr. Sniggers. I remember I had that Hat Ash's shovel right here, up over here over the clock. Oh, la-di-da. Go out and ring the front doorbell," she said to Jink Sniggers. Jink ran away to the front door, and Mrs. Sniggers and the 5 children waited. Bling, bling, the bell began ringing, and listen, the door of the clock opened and the Hat Ash's shovel fell out. "Oh, la-di-da, get out of here in a hurry," said Mrs. Sniggers. Well, the children ran out and dug a big pail of hat ashes with the Hat Ash's shovel, and they made 2 hats for SnooFoo. One was a crooked hat, the other was a straight hat. And they put the crooked hat on crooked and the straight hat on straight. And there stood SnooFoo in the front yard, and everybody who came by on the street, he would take off his hat to them, the crooked hat with his arm crooked, and the straight hat with his arm straight. That was the end of the fuss between the Sniggers children, and it was Jink, the littlest of the biggest, and Junk, the littlest of the littlest, who settled the fuss, by looking clean into each other's eyes and laughing. If you ever get into a fuss, try this way of settling it. That is How the Hat Ash's Shovel Helped SnooFoo, a story of brothers quarreling about how to make a hat for a snowman. It's an interesting story, isn't it? This is Dan Scholes for the Folktale Project. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Overcast, anywhere you like to get your podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Folktale Project. You can find us on Auto Radio, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere you like to listen. And you can always head over to folktaleproject.com, where you'll find a new story waiting for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As always, thank you so much for listening.